Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers of Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Before we get started with this lesson, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you we say shalom.
Shalom.
So another lesson, touching on this one, I'm going to entitle it The American Dream under Donald Trump, Another Vain Imagination, right? Because we got this article here pulled up, but pretty much just real quick, touching on the American Dream. Me and the brother were just talking about this before we click the live button or the record button. But, we seeing that on all fronts, the American Dream is dead. This it was just all a big scheme by the elite to try to keep you in some kind of rat race, to keep you searching for something that ultimately was never attainable in the first place, right? But also brings a way to keep y'all in a kind of like an enslaved mindset to try to achieve and search for something that ultimately, like we were going before we started this lesson, it's just a dream, You got it, bro.
I got that word for dream. It says sequence of sensations or images passing through the mind of a sleeping person. And that's what you got in America, Babylon the Great. A lot of people that are asleep. It says probably related to Old Norse, drom, Danish drome, Swedish drome, Old Saxon drom, merriment, noise, Old Frisian drom, dream, Dutch droom, Old High German Trum, German Traum, dream. These are perhaps from a Proto-Germanic drogmas, deception, illusion, phantasm, source of Brigadronian, Old High German trigon, to deceive, delude, ghost, apparition. It says possible cognates outside Germanic are Sanskrit dra, seek to harm, injure, Avestan, druz, lie, deceive. All right, and it says Old English dream meant joy, mirth, noisy, also music. And it says perhaps the meaning of the word changed dramatically, or vision was unrecorded. Meaning of dream, or there are two words here. So pretty much, in order to dream, you got to be in REM sleep. Which when you go into REM sleep, it's into rapid eye movement. Roughly paraphrasing, pretty much a dream, you got to be asleep, so what's compared to sleep in the scriptures, abusing the world, pretty much mirth, joy, being in an overabundant type of spirit, all these things in Esau Edom's kingdoms is meant to be a distraction,
Right. And just real quick, since you mentioned that, I want to get this in Isaiah 51:9. It says, "Awake, awake, put on thy strength." Hold on, that ain't it, Salakia.
Can you can get it? You get that one?
Okay, Con.
You start from verse. You get 52.
Okay, yeah, 52. Yep, right here. Isaiah 52:1. It says, "Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean."
Right, because when you look at Jake, in America, Babylon the Great, all right, Jake is asleep, and being in that sleep state of mind, all right, that's going to entail of, being in folly, mirth, joy, all right, essentially overindulging, focusing on the things that don't really matter. So it says, awake, awake, put on thy strength, you see, because if you're asleep, you're unaware, you're weak. So it says, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, because, as a people, we was created to fear the Lord, you see, but we understand that in this day and time, the elect is going to be the ones that fear the Lord, you see. So it says, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no no more come into thee, the uncircumcised and the unclean, because you know, in the kingdom, we're gonna be made perfect. You see, but just going to the point, to be awake, it essentially means to be alert, to be aware, to be circumspect. All right, but if you're asleep, you don't know what's going on. You're weak. All right, and essentially it goes into being in a state of mirth and joy. Overabundance. Being insatiable. When you want to be insatiated, it means to be complete. But when you go into unsatiable, that's somebody's going to be over satiated. The word satiate actually goes into the etymology of that goes into 7. So if you're above completion, all right, you're abundant, and you don't want to be too abundant. You don't want to be over complete.
Right, because in the scriptures it talks about, it mentions it. Let me get it real quick. On Salakia. Pretty much going into how Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. So that's going to the point that the brother Yawan was going into, being unsatiated, meaning you're overindulging in pretty much in satisfying the flesh. Right? But it says, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxing fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness, and he forsook the Most High which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So we understand that the ways of Babylon the Great, or America, has made Jake fat, man. Has made Jake wicked as all hell, and pretty much, like it says in the very end, lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Jake ain't concerned about deliverance. Jake ain't concerned about trying to make it out of here or going to the scriptures and seeking. We know the elect are, but Jake as a whole ain't doing that. Jake is concerned of how they can maintain that dream alive, that American dream, and Donald Trump does that for them. But this is all just going back to the point, going back to this article that I have pulled up. It says, this is from Newsweek.com. It says, Donald Trump, my plan to make America affordable again and bring back the American dream. And when this whole election thing happened, we've been seeing like Jake started, Jake, we understand Jake is more like in the Democrat side, but we started seeing a shift of Jake moving towards the Republican side, but all in order to, attain that American dream. But pretty much in this video, we're going to try to go into how, this is all vain. What I'm saying? This is all just a big plan to keep the people back up, to lull the people back to sleep. What I'm saying? To give these Americans, these Edomites, pretty much get their pride up and get them in this state of looking for prosperity and thinking that America is going to bounce back. And in turn, we see Jake, following in that same mindset, right? Thinking that everything is going to be okay, because Donald Trump, he gives the common Edomite that fire, to fight for what's theirs and to hope for the future, right? To look forward what he has in store for them, Pretty much, they feel like they're finally going to get a piece of the pie, enjoy what their forefathers have experienced, the golden years of America, right? This is what the average Edomite wants. They want to go back to those good old days. They want them golden years back. And this is what Donald Trump offers them. Donald Trump offers them, them good old days back, right? Because for the past 20 years or even longer, these Edomites have been, suffering by the hand of their own people, right? Their governors, their mayors, their presidents, right? By creating certain laws and programs that were really intended to destroy Jake, but in turn it ended up hurting them. Pretty much, these Edomites became collateral damage, right? Through like Planned Parenthood, these drug epidemics.
I'm running a title back. It says,
Hmm.
Donald Trump, my plan to make America affordable again and bring back the American dream. You see, so essentially, DJ Trump, he's back in office, all right, and what he did, back when he was in office, things were somewhat affordable. You see, so he wants to bring that back, back in the times of like COVID and things like that, you know.
Hmm.
So it says, and bring back the American dream. So what is the American dream? We was going into it before we cut the camera on. Like going to the American dream. They got the house. The dog. What else?
The
Uh,
picket fence.
the picket fence, going into the military. But when you look at all of these things, they can't recruit, they can't retain for the military. All right. They're understaffed for the military. Are also going into the housing. All right. America is in a housing crisis. You see, so that's what he's pretty much pushing. So I want to get a quick preset real fast. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, and we'll get verse 7, verse 7, it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right, the nations have drunken of the philosophies of America, Babylon the Great, and they understand that it's not beneficial to their society. All right, that's why we seen, it was probably like maybe like 2-3 years ago, you had over in the so-called Middle East, pretty much they had uh, uh, the women over there, they pretty much was like rebelling, and
Right.
Ishmael had to bring back order to that estate, because they pretty much was pushing that wine over there, and like um, countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Baghdad and stuff like that, they was pretty much subscribing to America, the ways and lifestyle, you see, but it's not beneficial to life, it's actually a death style. But it says
Right. They
verse
were
8.
given a Salaki. I just wanted to add, they were given women rights, allowing them to pretty much drive and all these other different type of things that And I remember seeing this article going into just the driving aspect. How they were starting to see more accidents on the road because just women being on the road driving.
Mm-hmm.
So just show you, this whole the Western mindset or the wine that Esau was pushing over there wasn't beneficial. It was becoming a detriment to the people, and these Ishmaelites, they were noticing that.
But verse 9, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. You see, so pretty much going into the title, it says, my plan to make America affordable again and bring back the American dream, you see, because they understand, they can see, what I'm saying, that essentially the spirit in this place, because at first, when you look at like 2010 to maybe like 2018, 2019, it was the rat race, it was pretty much everything was thriving, so to speak,
Hmm.
but they trying to bring that back, but it's not coming back. That holiday spirit, that go and get the family. People, the so-called dating world is not doable. It's not maintainable. You see, so that dream is no longer there. It's exactly what it is, a pipe dream. It was always a pipe dream.
Right.
So it
You
says,
know that whole American dream really was like the hamster wheel that
mm-hmm,
kept everything running.
yeah,
And we've seen that not nobody's buying into that no more. Well, a lot of people ain't buying into that no more. So the wheel is starting to slow down, and we're starting to see America starting to malfunction. And they're trying to revitalize that. They're trying to add, get people to join into that to bring back America again. But like the
mm-hmm.
brother's going into, that it's all going to fall on his face.
Right. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Hey, this place is not healed. There's not going to be any making. It's not going to be making things affordable again. You see, because they can lower prices somewhere, in a particular industry. You see, but it's going to rise somewhere else. Because we're not in a time of sustaining. The Lord is tearing this place down. So it says, Babylon, Salah, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. You see, so it is. It's already prophesied that this place is going to fall, and that's what we're seeing. You know, we're seeing the downfall of Esau and his hegemonies. All right.
God, God, and I'm not really going to touch on this article. I just really wanted to read the title. Uh, I just pulled this out at the last minute. I don't even know what it really says. Well, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'll just read like the first two paragraphs, see what it says. Um, it says, for years, Americans have watched as our country has been stripped of our jobs and stripped of our wealth. Right. And that's one thing, you know what I'm saying? Edomites, well, these Edomites are going through economic instability, with inflation and recession, growing. A lot of them feel like they've been tricked out of their inheritance. They feel like they've been bamboozled by their own government. you know. So a lot of them had been pushed to the background, especially these frothing at the mouth racists and white supremacists. They've been put in the back and put to shame. But with Donald Trump, they feel like they actually like Donald Trump feels. I mean, they feel like Donald Trump is for them. They feel like Donald Trump is to bring white supremacy back and bring the economy back and pretty much like his slogan, "Make America Great Again." That's essentially why he's being pushed to pretty much bring the people back to sleep, to not be concerned about what's going on around the world, the wars, the rumors of wars, right? Like the brother said, economic collapse, famine, prices going through the roof, all these things. This is all just a distraction. What I'm saying, to keep people away from what really is going on, right? Because a lot of these Edomites, they're doing about just as bad as Jake. They can't put food on the table. They can't pay their bills. They can't buy a home. A lot of them, like I read this article about a year back, a lot of people are having to move in with other people in order to be able to make ends meet. Even though they say the economy is somewhat stabilized, nah, man, this is just the calm before the storm, as they say,
Mm-hmm.
right? People have maxed out credit cards, and a lot of Edomites are living in these what they call them tent cities. They're homeless, right? But Trump is supposed to be that solution to their problems, right? Again, to bring back them golden years. But reading a little bit more, it says, we've watched our companies get sold off to foreign countries, but with my plan for the American economy, this will stop immediately. When I am president, we will begin to take other countries' jobs and factories, bringing business and trillions of dollars back to the United States. You see, so this is what he's saying. This is what he's promising to the American people, right? Which we understand. It's just going to be a big what they call it, the okey doke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, get people up and feeling good, as I say. Was it First Thessalonians? Let me get that. First Thessalonians 5. Oh, Salakia. First Thessalonians 5:3, I believe.
I got it right here.
Okay, Khan. Babu Shah.
This is First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape."
Right. Peace and safety, right? Isn't that what Donald Trump is promising? Peace and safety. Talking about doing away with the war that's going on right now in Ukraine. It's been several times, this man has said that once he gets into office, that war will be resolved as soon as he gets into office. But what have we seen as of late? Joe Biden has gave him permission to shoot long-range missiles into Russia, which that's going to escalate, because now we just seen earlier this morning that Russia had just shot an ICBM at Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So things is escalating. Things ain't gonna decline. Things ain't gonna regress back to a peacetime. Now things is gonna continue to amplify. right? But it says peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So just like a woman gets her menstrual cramps, I mean not menstrual cramps, Lakia, when she's about to when she's bearing a child and she's getting them kicks, like she's about to, give birth, them pains, them birth pains, that's essentially what people are going to start feeling. People going to start, that break of the water, that pain that woman feels. Hey, people are going to be feeling that as a whole. All America is going to be feeling that. Here it is. You're being promised peace. You're being promised safety, security, financial security, right? But all that, all that is going to end up falling apart because that's not the plan. That's not the Most High's plan at the end of the day. You were going to say something, Mark?
I got a quick one. This is I'll start from verse 5. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 5. And it says, "And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and the flags shall wither," and which this is going into the Nile River. All right, because that was a source of income, for ancient Egypt. It says, "The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. Moreover, they that work and find flax, and they that weave network shall be confounded, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof." And it says, "All that make sluices and ponds for fish," because Trump said, he was going to make America great again. That title of the article said, something about pretty much something about the economy, bringing back what once was. It says to make America affordable again. It's not going to be affordable. If it was affordable, that means that people are purchasing things, and it's going to be a steady flowing economy. Because I had read a book one time and said that the economy is the lifeline of the people. The economy is going to tell you how the people are doing. You see, so it's not going to be like that, in this present day Egypt. You see, so going back, because Isaiah 19 goes into the verses that we just read, the economy of Egypt, which was the Nile was a predominant source of the economy. You see, so the Lord is bringing all that to a halt. So I'm gonna continue on. It says, "Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. Where are they? Where are thy wise men?" Because like pretty much ancient Egypt, they confided in their sorcery, their witchcraft, and stuff like that. And it says, "Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt." You see, so going back to that article, that's nothing more than a left hand means of essentially trying to bring back the scriptures say the power of words. That's them trying to essentially push that out there, but that's going to be of no avail. It's not going to be of any benefit, because what the Lord has purpose. All right, going back to Isaiah 19 and 11, 12. "Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath purpose upon Egypt." I'm gonna get this word for purpose, and it says Ya'itazah, and it says counsel, advise, plan. It says to conspire. All right, devise. All right, what's devised, what's counseled, what's consulted, what's purposed upon Egypt. All right, it's going to be the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. It's not going to be built back better. It's not going to, the economy is not going to be stimulated. This place is going down. It's going down fast, and the people, the citizens, are seeing that. And that's why they're in the spirit of so-called voting. DJ Trump back in the office. You see, but again, that's going to come to no avail.
That's right. And especially these Edomites, they're having high hopes in Trump to like I said, revitalize America. But like as you read earlier, there's no there's nothing that can be done to bring America back. Like all this quantitative easing that they're talking about, which is like them trying to slow down the recession rate or the inflation. None of that's going to help because at the end of the day, like you mentioned, that's not the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is that this place will be taken down. Economic collapse is going to happen, war, you know, all that, that we read about in the scriptures. Like people in the world like to say biblical times or apocalyptic times. Well, that's the times we're living in. Where things is going to be, where all hell's going to break loose. You know what I'm saying? When people going to be offing each other for the littlest of things. Pretty much lawlessness. That's essentially what's coming into America, and we see that little by little. That precept that says the love of many shall wax cold. We see that, and we see it even more. The social constructs here in America is being worn out.
Mm-hmm.
To where people ain't regarding uh, uh, morals, they ain't regarding their princes, they ain't regarding um, certain things that as when we grow up, we were told not to do this, not to do that. Uh, People don't give a shit no more. People are ready just to crash out, man, just because of what's going on. What I'm saying? People out of jobs, people, having to break into houses or break into people's cars to be able to, steal something. And we're seeing that more and more. This shit is rising up more and more, man. Back then, I remember just hearing about somebody breaking into someone's house. That was kind of rare
Mm-hmm.
uh, in some places. But now we see that everywhere. All America. We hear about that all the time. Just go on to just going into that one app, Newsbreak. I got that on my phone, bro. That should be going off like every goddamn hour, man. With always some kind of shit. Somebody got killed. Somebody got arrested for breaking into someone's house. Somebody got shot up on the freeway. There's always something, man. But
I got
oh, go ahead, bro.
I got that. This is Matata, Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. It says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold."
That's right. The love of many shall wax cold, and that's what we're seeing, man. The love of many is waxing colder and colder by the day, right? And because iniquity, it says, because iniquity shall abound. What's iniquity? Sin, wickedness. That's all we see on a day to day basis, man. The decadence of the people has waxed lower and lower, man, to where people don't have no real moral grounds to stand on. People are really just about just getting what's theirs. Don't bother me. Back then I remember even when I was a kid, if you were stuck on the side of the road, some people would come out and try to help you out. Nowadays you don't see that. They're like, "Fuck you, man. I got something else better to do."
Kanye, yeah, your mic had cut off on the beginning portion of what you was saying.
Oh, okay, Salakia. No, I was saying, back then, and I remember when I was younger, if you got caught off on the side of the road, if you broke down the side of the road, people will come and try to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, hey, you break down the side of the road, motherfuckers, you be waving your hand, trying to wave someone down. They're like, "Fuck you, man. I got something
Right,
else."
right, right,
Hey, the love of many waxing cold, man.
right.
There ain't no community. Um, what do they call it? Like a community type of vibe or whatever you want to call it. I can't even put it into words. But that whole sense of being like community and coming together, that's all out the window, man. Even
Con-
amongst these Edomites, you know what I'm saying? Even you can see it amongst them. They're divided.
right. Because if I can make a point too, just line back on you. You saying like pretty much, like if you was broken down on the side of the road, people they wouldn't bat an eye, and say, hey, you need some assistance. Now so nowadays, excuse me, more so nowadays, people will be more so they see you like on the side of the road, they might try to rob you or something like that, you see. But
Right.
due to the rulership of Esau Edom, he's put it to where it's more of a emphasis on the I instead of the group. Because in the ancient world, it was a mindset of all right, how can us as a people do better? More so, it's like, what can I, how can I help myself? It's all about uplifting yourself versus others. In the ancient world, it was again, you was focused more so first and foremost on the Lord's will. All right,
Mhm.
and also how could we help the community? You see, but that's why the world needs new rulership. And DJ Trump going into office is not going to do anything that hasn't been done to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and it's like foreigners are just going to be the same bird. Like
Right.
you know. Let me get this real fast. This is Mashal Proverbs chapter 29. Could you get a Isaiah
God.
26 and verse 9, Baba Kushah? But this is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. You see, so when the true leaders of the earth are the Israelites are in authority, everybody's going to rejoice. You see, because when Esau Edom ruling, it's more of a mindset of like, all right, everybody for themselves. You see, but when we're in authority, you see, we're going to run it with the manual, with the righteous rule book. All right, and everybody's going to have what they need. All right, the necessities. We gotta, what I'm saying, on this side, we gotta work and claw and scratch and work for the necessity, the bare necessities, you see. But it
Hmm.
says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, everybody's mourning right now. The from the people to the animals, the earth, the ozone layer,
Hmm.
But Isaiah, Baba Kushah, Isaiah 26 and verse 9.
Oh, Salakia. Isaiah 26 and verse 9. It says, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness.
Right, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness when the law, statutes, and commandments are in effect. All right, everyone is going to know righteousness. You know, righteousness is going to be in. You see, right now, for the majority, wickedness is in. You see, but for the elect, righteousness is in. You see, but righteousness is the way to go. Contrary to popular belief with those that are subscribing to Esau's system, you see, righteousness is that rule book. All right, all right. Going back to the scriptures, because the Lord created the earth. All right, this is the Lord's. This is the Lord's creation. So that's His rule book. The sword.
No, that's right. And there's one point I wanted to make, since you mentioned how back in the ancient world it was about like how can you help the community? Well, back then, I mean, well nowadays people don't understand that you need the everybody to be in one accord enough for society to function. What I'm saying? Everybody needs to be doing good in order for society to run well. That's why you had earlier the longshoremen go on a strike
Mm-hmm.
because they ain't doing well. They getting taxed out the ass or whatever it is, whatever situation they're going through, right? But we see in even truckers, truckers over here, feeling the squeeze, but people don't give a shit about that, not knowing that if these men go on strike, the longshoremen and the truckers, bro, you ain't gonna have no society, man. Your your grocery stores is gonna be empty. Ain't nothing gonna be moving, man. People don't get that, but
Right.
that just showing the selfish nature that has been put upon the people. This mindset
Mm-hmm.
of always me, 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 me. That's it. Instead of thinking as a collective. But we understand that this is the will of the Lord, and hey, everything is being set into motion to bring forward the end.
Kanye, you might cut out at the latter portion of what you were saying.
Con. Now I was saying, pretty much this is the will of the Lord, for all this to come to pass. And anyway, this is all
Right.
just moves being done to bring forward the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna read just one more paragraph into this. Donald in this
I,
article.
I can read it.
Con,
You was at the under my plan.
con. Well,
Got
actually, no, I was right here. I think
the 4 years.
right here.
Oh, okay. It says, when I am president, we will begin to take other countries' jobs and factories, bringing businesses and trillions of dollars back to the United States. It
Mm-hmm.
says, under my plan, American workers will no longer be worried about losing their jobs to foreign nations. Instead, foreign nations will be worried about losing their jobs to Americans. German car companies can become American car companies. We can beat China in electronic production. Manufacturers that have left us will come sprinting back to our shores.
Mm-hmm.
In which,
So
if I, you go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, so Donald Trump is just telling you that he's gonna bring the jobs back. The American business is gonna be booming. Everything gonna be made in America. This is essentially what he's saying. Pretty much that whole 70s and 80s type of vibe, man. Like, he's really thinking like this is what he's putting into the minds of the people that hey, we're gonna go back to them old times. We're gonna go back to being the number one manufacturing country. We're gonna go back to being number one on all markets. This is pretty much what he's saying. Like I said in the latter end of that first paragraph, bringing business and trillions of dollars back to the United States. Because right now, the United States has a debt that's continually like I looked up this article saying that every year they rack up about $2 trillion of debt, which they can't pay back.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, they're trying to revitalize the American dream to pretty much put America back on the map because we see in the United States they're falling off, man. These other
Right,
countries are starting to mock America.
right. Because if I can mention too, like it's it's the spirit that he pretty much coming out and saying that because like it shows you that like pretty much this place is going down.
Right.
Like, when you look at the BRICS, or you look at they're switching from the petrodollar to their system of currency, showing you that this is America's last ditch effort, essentially to get them to come back. You see, but the scriptures say we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. This place isn't going to be healed. You see, so it
Mm,
shows you that this place is destined to go down. When we're seeing the downfall of Esau, Edom, in America, Babylon the Great, as we speak.
that's right. That's right. And I got a quick precept. This is
Mhm.
Nahum 3 and verse 19. There is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. Hey, there's nothing that can be done. That wound that America is in right now, it can't be healed, man. It's like a cancer that cannot be cut out, that can't be healed. America's already on stage 5, man. Stage 5 cancer. There's nothing that can be done. It's just a matter of time, but to wait and see America fall, right? But it says there is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee, for upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? Right, America has committed so much wickedness all around the world. Hey, now it's their turn, and that's what we're seeing. And everybody, we're seeing, America's enemies, rejoicing, man. They're happy. They want to see America fall, and we want to see America
Mhm.
fall,
Yep.
right? But that's what we're seeing, man. There's no healing of America. There is no bringing America back, making America great again. All that shit is done and over with, man. America had its time, it had its run. Now it's time for it to go down. The scripture says everything that has a beginning has an end, and the end is manifest. The end is obvious. We here, man. Anybody who's still doubting that America is going to go down, hey, if you don't come to the realization before it's over, you're gonna be gone just along with America, man. You have anything, bro?
I was just gonna get that the average kingdom uh what's it called? Average kingdom like rulership or whatever. The length of the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you get that. I want to get this real quick. I'm gonna get Psalm 2 and verse 1. It says, "Why did the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?" And this is a vain thing that they're gonna be able to revitalize America or revitalize the American dream. It's vain. It's a vain thing that they believe they're gonna extend America's lifeline. It's vain, man. It's vanity. America's already slated to be destroyed. There's nothing you can do. The scripture says in Deuteronomy 30, 30, 32 and 39, I believe. Hold on. Let me get it. I think it's 30, might be 38. Deuteronomy. No, it ain't that.
I got the if I can.
Con, you got it.
God says, do empires really only last 250 years? It says, if the same nation were to retain its domination indefinitely, its peculiar qualities would permanently characterize the whole human race. Under the system of empires, each lasting for 250 years, the sovereign race has time to spread its particular virtues far and wide. Now, I want to get this too. And it says, how many years do kingdoms last? It says the average lifespan of an empire throughout history can vary significantly depending on the criteria used to define an empire and specific historical context. However, historians often estimate that empires typically last anywhere from 200 to 300 years, you see. So around about 250 years, on average. You see, we
Right.
understand that it's, according to the Lord's will, you see. And we see that this place is essentially, CTD circling the drain, you know.
That's right. That's right. But I got this precept. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So this wound that the Most High has wounded America with is incurable, man. Incurable. There's nothing that can be done to deliver it out of the Most High's hand.
Mm-hmm.
They can do as much as they want. They can pump so much money into the economy, as we seen earlier with the stimulus check. It was supposed to stimulate the economy, but it didn't do shit. But actually create inflation even worse. And soon we're gonna start seeing prices start to skyrocket. And I believe it was you, Yuan, who put out that article in the group chat talking about how
Mm-hmm.
Walmart or how they're trying to get rid of certain bills, and how Walmart is also talking about raising up prices.
Right, because when you look at what they're doing, they said they weren't accepting certain bills,
Hmm.
so they always do that, you see. But if you're looking at it with a spiritual eye, you would see that essentially they're not accepting these bills. All right, then they're going to do that, but then also they're doing the tap. It's conditioning. All right, we're not accepting these bills. All right, we're accepting the tap. All right, we're accepting, because at first I think it was the third industrial revolution to where they was like you had the swipe and then you had the insert. You see, so it was
Hmm.
a swipe, then it was the insert, now it's the tap. You see, so then on when you go and go like for buses or like public transportation, you're like, all right, well, you can take your watch and you can pay, what I'm saying, for you can do the little thing on your phone or you can whatever type of device you got to scan it with. But then you go to like let me see the public rest areas, and it's like, all right, wave your hand, to enter this door. So it's all conditioning. That's how Esau gets down. It's conditioning. So
Hmm.
it's like, okay, we're not accepting these forms of payments anymore. So that they're pretty much getting the people ready. You see, because the system that is in place right now, is not working for them. So they're gonna have to go over to the Karagma.
That's right. That's right. And we're seeing certain moves being done. Especially with Donald Trump setting up Elon Musk as one of his advisors. What do you think that how that's going to play out, man? Right here it is. Elon Musk is head of Neuralink. You know what I'm saying? That behind the scenes they're talking about getting everybody C hipped, right? So in the direction that we see this is going, man, Donald Trump could be the man to bring in the end, man. You know
I
what
got
I'm
a quick
saying?
one.
Khan, you got it.
And this is Yashaya Isaiah 36 and verse 6. It says, Lo thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him. You see, so when you look at a staff, it represents authority, it represents power. You see, so but it's a broken reed. You see, so this place, we pursuant to Nahum Nachawam, chapter 3 and verse 19, that bruise, this place is broken. You see, so essentially, you got 2/3 in these heathen there and trusting into this idol. You see, so essentially, trusting in that idol is going to essentially lead to, that charagma. You know.
Mm-hmm. Khan. Jay don't understand that they're being, as the scripture says, being led as a flock to the slaughter, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jake is still in this mindset that the old Edomites, the old racists, uh, the ones that put our people in slavery and that beat our backs and killed us and lynched us and put the Jim Crow laws on us, that they're gone. Nah, man, they're still here. They're the same people.
Mm-hmm.
Those same spirits reincarnated back in these new bodies that they have now. So all they need is an excuse to really come down on you, Jakes, and we seeing them they're making those excuses. With the immigrants, they're talking about how they're all criminals and this is and that, pretty much trying to paint us in this bad light, like we're the source of the problem. So by Donald Trump coming into office saying that he's going to get rid of all these immigrants is essentially him, declaring war on Jake in a sense. And then also, really, these Edomites aren't growing as a population. They're really on a decline. So that they're over here seeing all these immigrants coming in, all these Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, pretty much coming together here in America. Hey, and really Esau's afraid, man. Esau's afraid because they're starting to realize that they're the minority. And Donald Trump is promising, to pretty much do away with the Northern Kingdom, to pretty much do certain things to pretty much favor the Edomites, or favor the so-called white people. But at the end of the day, as we see, things is going to come to an end. The scripture says, pride goeth before destruction. So, hey, I'm pretty sure the Most High is going to get their pride up to the point where, or these Edomites' pride up to the point where they really feel like they're going to have them golden years back. They're going to have that time period where they can be able to be prosperous and successful and talk to Jake any kind of way. Because to be honest, I've been seeing like a lot of like just videos on like Instagram or videos on TikTok about these damn crackers, man. They're getting a little bit bold, calling Jake a nigga, calling Issachar Spicks and all this shit. Hey, we're starting to see that pride is getting puffed up. But like I said, pride goeth before destruction, right? And a haughty spirit before a fall. So, just like Pharaoh, got puffed up at the end, and we're gonna see these Edomites get puffed up at the end, right? You have something, Mark?
Con. This is Ayawab, Job 27 and verse 14. It says, If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. You see, so you made a point pretty much going into, Esau, he not really having children. And even the children that he do have, hey, they just being born, to be met with the sword. You see, so what do you do with a sword? You divide, so they're just being born to be destroyed,
Mm-hmm. I got this real quick. This is Obadiah 1 and 2. It says, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. We know this is going into the Amaleks, but Esau as a whole, man, hey, they're really small compared to the rest of the heathen. Like they're becoming I remember reading this article talking about how if they go for another 100 years or something longer, however long, they said they're going to become an extinct species.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and that's what we see, man. Like I said, everything that Esau has put out there to try to oppress Jake has backfired.
Mm-hmm.
The Planned Parenthood. We see in a lot of these Edomite women offer their own children too. I remember seeing like a graph talking about how they're like the third or the second most people that off their children in these abortion clinics. And they're not even having sex with Edomite men. A lot of them are dating Jake.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that they realize this, they're becoming an extinct species. You have the drug epidemics. You have feminism and this GMO foods that's affecting everybody. But my point being is that Esau is going through the same shit that Jake is going through. Them curses are reversing back onto Esau. So this just shows you this is the end. This is the end for him, man. Now's the time for him to, suffer for what we went through, what pretty much that transition of power. We're seeing it. You mind getting that Sirach 34?
God.
Pretty much touching on that dream, the American dream, because like we said, that American dream, man, it's all it is a dream.
God, this is Bon Sirach chapter 34. I'm going down to verse read down from verse 1 to verse 7. And it says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools.
Right, they're vain and false. Right, this is like we went into earlier. Right, the American dream was just created to keep y'all in this rat race. Right, it was never intended to be something that y'all can really attain and accomplish. Go ahead.
Verse 2 says, whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind.
Right, it's unattainable. Right, if you're trying to chase that dream, like I said, catches the shadow. You can't catch a shadow. Right, you're trying to chase the wind. You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna catch up to it.
Verse 3, the vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that which is false, what truth can come?
Right.
Pretty much, like looking into a dream, dreams is not sent from the Lord, that those are false, you see, so you can't get no truth out of those,
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5, divinations and soothsayings are and dreams are vain, you see, because when you look at like those those two, a lot of times you got a study of like dreams and stuff like that, so you have different left hand groups and stuff like that. They try to take dreams, every single dream, as like some type of a sign, but that's vain, you see, because if it's not ultimately of the spirit, then it's going to be vain. And it says, and the heart fancieth as a woman's heart in travail, if they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them. For dreams have deceived many, and they have, and Salah, for dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them.
Right. Pretty much, they have failed that put their trust in them. You put your trust in this American dream, you're gonna fail at the end of the day, because that's not, especially Jake, because that's not something that you should be striving to attain, striving to stay in that sleep and that deep dream, that American dream, man. Because like it says in Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. That American dream is to put you back to sleep, so that way you can be destroyed in the coming of the Lord. Right? So you put your trust in them, like it says. It says they have failed that put their trust in them. So you're gonna fail if you put your trust in America. You're gonna fail if you put your trust in this American dream, right? And we've seen many do that. These rappers, they have to sell out to get this, get the bag. Actors, sports players, you know what I'm saying? They're the like the what Jake strives to become, one of them. But as we see time and time again, they have to do something to get the bag, and then eventually, what happens to them once it gets tossed? Once Esau's done with them, we see what's going on with P Diddy. We see what's going on with various people out here, man, that sell out. They have no, they can't say what they say. A lot of them turn bugged out. You know that guilt in their heart weighs on them too hard, so some of them just kill themselves. You know, but again, just stating the point that striving to attain the kingdom here in America is not something we should be doing. This place was meant for our destruction. This place was meant for our punishment. But the kingdom of heaven is being set up for our betterment. Word is out here to make sure that we come back. But as we understand, only the elect are going to be the ones to attain this.
This is Quahalat, Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 2. It says, "Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity." You see, so pretty much going into, like you mentioned the rap industry, the entertainment industry, pretty much, those particular type of lifestyles that goes into something that's vain, it's something that is not going to be attained, you see, because those that are in those type of lifestyles, you see, they essentially got to sell out. A lot of times they can't find no type of true, happiness, you see, because Ecclesiastes Quahalat chapter 12 and verse 13 goes into, how we were made to fear the Lord. So Jake, in those different industries, they a lot of times, they really stressed out, on different types of drugs and stuff like that. You see, because they're not really serving out their true purpose, and then ultimately, even though they make a lot of money, well, some, they make the crumbs, you see, what appears as a lot of money, they're really stressed out, you see, and they really want, this truth,
Khan, that's right. Because there was what's his name, Floyd Mayweather, that ended up saying, that he has all the money, he's done everything, pretty much he can do with his money, but yet he's still bored. They ain't a lot of shit he can do because he's under them bounds. He's under Esau's bounds, and that's what we're seeing, man. Like it ain't worth it selling yourself out on this side just to get a little bit of crumbs off Esau's table, right? But I got a quick precept just touching on this American dream, right? Because everybody's trying to find some kind of comfort here in America, and we're seeing 2/3 they're trying to be comforted in the fact that the leaders that they picked are going to do what's right for them. But it says Ezekiel 7:25, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." You see, that's what we're seeing all throughout the news. When you go on whatever news site you go on to, all you're going to hear is wars. All you're going to hear is about economic collapse. Destruction, because that's what's coming. Ever since the prophet's been on the scene, that's what we've been seeing, man. Destruction, the apocalypse, the end, right? But it says, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." And the people are seeking for peace, but what? There's going to be none, man. This whole Donald Trump being your savior and revitalizing the American dream, it's not going to help you, man. There ain't going to be no peace. Let me see. I want to get Isaiah as well. And after this, that'll be it for me, unless you have something, Mark. So Isaiah 47 and verse 8, it says, "Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures."
Can we read down if you want to?
Okay, come.
We started. I was saying we can read down from 1.
Oh, con.
I'll read it. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, or daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Pretty much, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust," which that dust represents confusion. You know, like so like it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. You know, pretty much that represents confusion. You know, because essentially the natural estate of this place is very base. You know, Babylon. When you go into Babylon, it's Babal. You know, which means confusion. You know, it says, "Sit on the ground. There is no throne." You know, the Lord is taking that authority. You know, from Esau Edom. So it says, "There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans." This place takes on, you know, the ways of the ancient Babylonians, the Chaldeans. They was heavy into like astrology and witchcraft. You know, when you go into Nahum chapter 3, I believe it's like verse 3 to like 5, it talks about how, you know, the mistress of witchcraft going into Nineveh, you see, but this place is spiritually corresponding to Nineveh, Assyria, and Babylon. So it says,
Mm.
for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, you see, because of remembrance of how this place was brought into inception, or it's been brought back to remembrance. You know, this place has been exposed. You see,
Right.
so everybody at one point, everybody wanted to come here. Hey, go to America. You know, this place is like that's where you want to be at. You know, like nah, you don't want to be here. You know, it says take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the thigh, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yet thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Hey, this place is being exposed, you know. You know, before the Lord comes back, you know, again, Esau Edom is going to be exposed. You know, we just had what was his name, Putin. He had pretty much came out the vault and showed the Russian icons. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
going back into First Maccabees 3:48. Ayawab, Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Or who are the judges? Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wa, Yasha Allah, you know, the Israelites. All right.
Mm.
He painted them as, you know, so-called white people. So it says, as for our Redeemer, Salah, yeah, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Yasha Allah. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand, you see, because essentially, you know, going back into, you know, what we were saying in the beginning part of the lesson, you know, essentially this is our captivity, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was not meant as, you know, a getaway, a goddamn retreat, you know, no, this was captivity, you know. It says, and given them into thine hand, thou didst shew them no mercy. You see, because the scriptures say that he wore out the saints. You know, like when you look at, you know, Jake, from the time Jake can work, from the time
Mm-hmm.
Jake gotta retire, you know, Jake is just working. And even at the retirement age, you know, retirement age is, I think it's like 70 or 75 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10 years after that, you know, the average lifespan of someone is like 70, 80. That's a person, you see. But Jake, you know, we got a lesser lifespan, you know. So Jake is working into retirement, and retirement, you know, is damn near like a death sentence, so to speak, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it
You know,
says,
also say that he forwarded the affliction.
mm-hmm,
You know, and he's still doing it to this day with
right,
you know whatever it is like GMO foods, the chemtrails he's spraying. You know, the policy he's putting into the system. Like it's a lot of things that he's doing that still is oppressing Jake to this day.
mm-hmm. Because it was one dude, he had worked for Burger King,
Mm-hmm.
and like Jake was about to he was about to retire. He was like year 29, or they retirement was like 30 years. So they
Mm-hmm.
was like they had fired Jake on, like he had maybe like two weeks maybe left on the job. They gave him a cup and they said, yeah, you can get a month free of Whoppers. You know, that's a example of them forwarding the affliction. You know, he had put all that hard work in, you know, and they you know, they ain't do it just coincidentally, you know. They did it on purpose because they didn't want to pay him, you know.
Right.
All that hard work he put in, you know, but they didn't want to give him what he deserved, you know.
Right. In Wisdom of Solomon, it says they took not account of his labors.
Hmm.
You know, Jake put in years of hard work, man, dedication, and really it'd be Jake that makes these businesses thrive, man. And for them to do what they do to Jake, man,
And it
you got to.
says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. They didn't consider, what was going to happen in the end, the judgment from the Lord. So it says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures. You see, who's given to pleasures in this current moment? Those in America, Babylon the Great, they're given to pleasures, whatever they feel like doing. It's a microwave society to where it's like you got to have that instantaneous gratification.
Right.
You see that a lot on social media. So it says, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly. They don't have a care in the world. Like even those in the military in America, Babylon the Great, they have that mindset of they're not going to war. They're not going to war. They have a careless mentality. That dwelling carelessly. Like that. Like ain't nobody's gonna war with America, Babylon the Great. So it says that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And the scriptures say in Bon Sirach, it says that essentially the citizens take on the spirit of the rulers. You see, so the rulers of America, Babylon the Great, this is their spirit. So those in America, they feel as if, okay, they can be how they want to be, no accountability. All right, they can live carelessly and be given the pleasures. You see, so all right, in the time of the end, these people are going to be caught unaware, you see, because they want to dwell in that carelessness,
Right.
because going back to the latter part of this right here, it says, and none else beside me, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. That's what they think. In verse 9, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and the great abundance of thine enchantments. You see, so this place is going to be completely destroyed. You see, because going into scriptures, Revelation 8, the 18th chapter, all right, in various points of the scriptures, essentially the Lord is going to reward this place, all right, for that double rebellion, Maratayam, according to how this place has rebelled against the Lord. So that's what this place has to look forward to. When you go into scriptures like Isaiah 19, all right, the burden of Egypt, all right, Egypt goes into bondage. All right, the Israelites are in bondage in America, Babylon the Great. All right, Isaiah 13, the burden of Babylon. All right, that burden goes into a heavy load, something that you got to look forward to, something that you got to carry. So they didn't actually consider that burden. You see, but now it's being brought to the forefront. So could we end it with this? Could we get Quahalat Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15?
Con. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past.
God, can we get that word for require? Baba Kosha?
Require. Bakwash.
Yep. It says to seek, to require, to desire, to exact, request, to seek, to find, to seek, to secure, to demand, to exact, to be sought. You see, so it didn't come to their mind. It didn't come to to the elite's mind. It didn't come to those that was running America, Babylon the Great. To their mind, they was going to be held accountable. You see, and those in America, Babylon the Great, they didn't think about the accountability aspect that was going to be brought to the forefront of their mind. You see, but those that don't repent of the Israelites, all right, in America, Babylon the Great, they're going to be destroyed. You see, and the Esau Edom that runs America, Babylon the Great, where they're going to reap destruction. You see, because they had opportunities, what I'm saying, to change how they ran things, but it's not prophesied that they're going to change how they run America, Babylon the Great. They essentially wanted to run it how they wanted to run it. And the Lord is going to require that. Bakwash goes in to seek to make an inquisition. That's what the Lord is doing currently. He's making an inquisition and searching out the world. Scriptures say that the knowledge of the glory of the Lord is going to cover the earth as it does the sea. You see, so that inquisition is being made, present day.
Right. Essentially Esau is trying to run away from the debt collector.
Mm-hmm.
The bill's due, been due, and Esau just trying to duck and dodge. Hey, you can only duck and dodge for so long. As a matter of fact, you can't duck and dodge the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That bill is gonna be paid, man. What you owe, has you're gonna be forced to pay it. You're gonna be forced to pay it, man. There's no ducking
Mm-hmm.
and dodging, man. Like a brother said, you didn't consider the latter end. You didn't take into account that everything is being watched. Your actions are being taken accounted for. Hey, and as soon as we're about to see, everything that you have done, everything that you have, all the wickedness that you have perpetrated throughout the earth, all that is going to come upon your head, man. Scripture says that let him be taken in his own devices.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be taken in his own devices. The ICBM missiles that he's creating supposedly to fight against Yahweh Shai and fight these wars is all going to come upon his own head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, the American dream is dead, though, man. Like, it's no point in even trying to go back to that or even in that mindset, because as we see, things is not getting better. Like, Donald Trump has been saying this shit the whole time he's been running for president, and what do we see now? Right before he's going to take the presidency, we seen an escalation. What people are calling could be World War III.
Mm-hmm.
So peace ain't coming, prosperity ain't coming. Because if war starts, best believe Donald Trump is going to start putting sanctions on all these countries. As a matter of fact, he's already saying that he's going to be putting sanctions on China and all these places. But if he puts sanctions on China, which is a mass exporter of goods to America, that means everything in America is going to be, all the prices in every store that you go into is going to be jacked the fuck up, man. Shit, most of these cars like Toyota and Honda and all these other foreign companies, they're going to go up in price. And pretty much people can't afford buying anything else. Like if you buy American, you're gonna be paying out the ass. People don't got that kind of money. People going for the cheap, the what they call the bigger, better deal, right? But anyways, it's just adding to the point that this place is done, man. This place is finished. Like it ain't no use in trying to cleave to America, trying to cleave to this idea that America is going to be good again, because everything is done. We're seeing the mirth is gone. People like this whole Halloween thing that happened, bro. That shit was dead as hell, man. Thanksgiving is coming up. We're about to see this shit be dead as hell. Christmas, yeah, bro. I don't even see no Christmas lights on houses no more.
And even to touch on that point, like so-called, Thanksgiving is supposed to be coming up. You see, but you already have those that's in that Christmas spirit, that are already putting decorations up. You see, showing you that they're in a haste, to bring back that spirit, because essentially, in their mind, they are looking, they're trying to grab back for what was, you see, but that American dream, like we was going into, like we started the lesson with, hey, that's not coming back,
Right. I remember watching this video on Instagram. This one Jake posted it about the mall and how it used to be during Christmas time. Everybody used to be, gathered. It used to be that mall used to be packed. But you see the malls now, like motherfuckers ain't in that jolly Christmas type of spirit no more. People are pretty much through, man. People are pretty much just leave me alone. I'm about my business type of spirit. Like ain't nobody, out here, having this jolly spirit no more, man. That shit is done. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's all I had. You have anything else, Ak? Con.
Yeah.
With that, we go ahead and close it out. Praise the lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.